Alright, hey, what's going on, everybody? Today I got you're gonna have to excuse this clusterfuck of a workbench. Things have been busy. Today I got my ASCU back in, which you guys don't know about because the video that I posted of this, or recorded of this, never got posted. Because I had some really weird problems with it. And this is, of course, on the DSG. I just got it back. They sent me a video of it when they were working on it, and it worked when they were using it, but I'm not trying to like bash on them because I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing, but when they sent it to me and they were testing it or showing me that it worked, they didn't put the motor that they were using under any stress. So like none of the MOSFETs or the components in the actual trigger board were taking any real load. They were just taking the voltage from the battery to the motor. So right now I've got it in the DSG and freshly charged battery, and I've got a connector to go from my XT60 down to a Dean's. And the only reason I still haven't made this into Dean's is because if my LiPo dies, I can still use a 7.4 and 11.1 off of somebody that I'm playing with who has it wired to Dean's. So I'm going to connect these real quick, and then I'm going to set the phone down on the motor so you can at least hear the motor chirp. As you know, that's working. So I know for sure it picked that up, but there. Motor chirped, so you know the MOSFET's got power. We're on safe. All the way forward is safe. So that means this one, that's full. So that means this one should be semi. Now what it was doing before, I'm going to tell you this now, is that it would like pre-cock and then release and then do a full cycle, and then it would keep doing that. So here we go. Jesus Christ, that screech. Alright, I haven't adjusted this. This is a new motor, and I haven't adjusted it, so I'm going to adjust that, and then I will be back. Alright, yep, it's still doing it. So, this battery is a different one because the other one, I think, was low. I don't know. Here, let me go grab it. Anyways, I got my motor height adjust. Where did I put it? Oh, I put it on the charger, but I never turned the charger on. Come on. Okay, this XT60 wants to hold on to everything in the world. Holy shit. Thank you. Alright, so here we go. We got the same battery. Go over here, and we'll put this thing on safe. Is there any way I can prop this up at all where it'll stay? Yeah, right there is good enough for me. So we're going to disconnect the XT60. We're going to come in here and we're going to connect this. Okay, there we go. That went. I'm hoping you heard that. But now you can see that battery's connected into here. We're going to try to flip this over, and the selector plate fell out. Hold on a second. Okay, so selector's plate back on, and we are in, if it'll focus, we're in semi, and it's not as bad as it was when I first got it, but it's still doing it. So we'll probably get 2 shots, and then it'll half cycle. Oh, nope, there it went, just half cycled. Shot, shot. Alright, so right here, what actually happened was, sorry, I had to mute the audio so I don't talk over myself, but what actually happened here is that a motor tab fell off the motor, and I didn't realize that that had happened, so I went and, as you're about to see here, tried to put a 7.4 in, and when I go to plug the 7.4 in, I couldn't get it to buzz or say that there's any power to the MOSFET. And the thing was that whenever I would plug that exact 7.4 in, I would get no problem at all cycling it on semi-auto.
But the problem is with running that 7.4 with only 30C of, I can't remember what the amp rating is on that battery, but that amp rating is not enough to run this DSG for any serious amount of time. It's good for testing it, but if I was actually going to try and play with it, that battery would explode. That's why I have the battery that I do use, which is that 11.1 with that high amp rating. But as you can see here, I am checking the voltage of this 11.1, not charged. This was right after the 7.4. And I even say here, I went to go check the voltage of that 7.4, and that 7.4 is low. Like, voltage-wise, overall was like 5.6 volts. That's supposed to be at like 6.25 volts when it gets real low. So I'm hoping I can charge that without that exploding. But anyways, the motor tab fell off the DSG. Then once I got done recording, I took it apart and checked it, and I pushed down the negative motor lead. That's the one that fell off. And when I went to go turn the camera on again, the piston, the SHS piston that I was using, the very back tooth stripped, and there's no point in trying to do the testing that I was, because the test I'm trying to do is with the motor under load. And what proves my point that this doesn't work when it's under load is that the motor did perfectly fine on semi when it had to do when it was just pulling back the tappet plate. But the second but that was like right after the piston stripped. When it was trying to pull back that spring, it was only doing those half cycles and then ending, or doing a half cycle, 2 full cycles, and then repeat to half cycle, and it just keep repeating that. And I'll put a video down where I've seen this work on a DSG, this exact same trigger unit, and a guy was using the same spring as me. He was using an M150, no spacers, and this exact one. Granted, he was using a little higher gear ratio, but he was using the next gear ratio up from me. And I know the video is going to end here. I don't know what I'm going to put here, but I know this ASCU will work with this setup. It has worked. It works on full auto. It works with a lower voltage battery, which is what I don't understand. A lower voltage, less amperage battery will work in this setup. But the second I go to put that 11.1 in, it doesn't work. I'll even throw down the video of them from where I sent this in, which is at Zshot down in Ohio. Or up in Ohio, sorry. I'm in South Carolina now. I used to be in the state right over. I used to live in Indiana. Heck, I could go down there and drive this to them if I wanted to before we moved. But now I'm nowhere near them. So anyways, I'll put the video of the DSG version of somebody using this exact same MOSFET / trigger board in their gun down in the description. I will put the link to the description of them testing this MOSFET, which I feel like, yeah, you put a battery to it and you press the button to make sure it would work, but without putting any serious load on it, you didn't test it. You just made sure it was getting current. You didn't test to see if something popped or anything else. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.